If you tell the truth, you don't have to remember anything. Ladies, gentlemen, and variations thereupon, this is Modern Escapism. Hello and welcome to the show. My name is Oodles, and in truth, I am but a humble man with wisdom to impart. Joining me today, he once held the world title in the PDC Darts League. It's Biggie.
Hello.
It's a true story. This lady wasn't born of a woman. She simply arose out of a giant clam, fully grown off the coast of Western Supermare. It's Candy.
Again, also true. Hello.
True story. And finally, this man was known throughout history as Grigory Rasputin, Russia's greatest love machine himself. To us, he's called Gadget.
До свидания. That's a Russian, the only Russian word I know. I don't even know what it means. I think it means goodbye.
And unfortunately, Stig can't join us this evening. He's been tried at The Hague for war crimes. True story. On this episode,
didn't expect that.
No, I can't. I mean, things is done. God, if you knew what we knew. Honest. Yes, but on this episode, we'll review our week in the Nexus, discuss movies based on actual events in the main topic. We'll discuss the future of this very podcast later on as well. Then we'll enter the green room, locked behind a paywall for patrons. But before all that, it's Biggie's breaking news.
You may already know, but he doesn't, because it's time for Biggie's breaking news.
Biggie's news, all in my brain. Lady things, they don't seem the same. Acting funny, and I don't know why. Excuse me while Sony kisses Xbox ass.
Sorry, listener. I'm so sorry.
EA Sports have released a statement earlier this week confirming that it's exploring stability issues in the soccer sim introduced in the recent title update. The solution? Reduce your PS5 friends list to 100 or less friends and relaunch the game.
What?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yep.
As if people have more friends than that.
I know, but still, what a weird thing to come out with. But yeah. So that's their current workaround
Which soccer sim? Which soccer sim? FIFA.
There is only one
FIFA 23, wouldn't it?
Yes.
So what's it doing? Sorry, just repeat that again. What's it actually doing if you don't do that?
Thanks for bringing that up, because I'll have to go and look.
So is the game not working if you've got too many mates? That doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
I know. That's why I thought it was so weird. I just wasn't expecting the question.
What if these friends have not played FIFA or own FIFA? How can that affect a game?
Let's see if I can find it.
I'm furious. I need to know.
This will affect your week coming forward, Oodles.
I just don't like to be harmed as a gamer.
By games.
By games.
Where is it? It's gone. Unless they pulled the news article.
That means it's not news anymore.
I can't find it.
I'll take your word for it, sir. As the news anchor on this show, I'll take your word for it that I will be harmed unless I do this.
Everything is 100% true unless I make it up.
Okay. Next.
Can't find it.
Never happened.
Next up. Apparently you cannot pet the dog in The Legend of Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom. And fans are not happy about it. One fan said, "We waited 6 years, and for what?" Opinioned one commentator. Another responded, "That's it, I'm not buying." "This is the tears part," said another, which just happens to be the official Specsavers Twitter account. "If you pet it, it would run out of durability and be broken," added another fan.
Okay.
You played it, haven't you?
Yeah.
Oodles.
Yeah.
Can you pet the dog?
You can do more than pet the dog.
I mean,
information I didn't need.
You couldn't pet the dog in Breath of the Wild, so
No. You can lead the dog into something. In fact, we'll discuss that later. Trust me.
Okay. The producer also recently hinted that a Zelda game with a playable Zelda may become a reality.
that's already been a thing. It was on the CDI and it was shit.
It's also Hyrule Warriors 2. You can play as Zelda.
Oh, well, there you go.
Come on, news!
Steve Gaynor, the controversial co-founder of Gone Home and Tacoma developer Fulbright, is now going it alone under the Fulbright name, following accusations of a toxic workplace behaviour in August 21. Gaynor hit the headlines after an exodus of 15 Fulbright staff was blamed on his behaviour towards fellow workers. An investigation by Polygon claimed that Gaynor was controlling and that staff, particularly women, frequently felt undermined and demeaned, disparaged and discredited. Soon after, Gaynor publicly acknowledged that his leadership style was hurtful to people that worked at Fulbright and announced he'd be stepping back. A separate statement for Fulbright confirmed that he would be vacating his role as studio's creative lead and manager.
So he's stepped down from his role, but then taken the studio name elsewhere.
Yeah, and probably will continue to get credit for that.
And he will
Anything that they
continue to be a
previously
piece of shit because people like this don't change.
I like Tacoma. I think it's good.
Yeah, I've heard it's a good game.
I liked Gone Home.
Oh, I didn't like Gone Home.
Didn't like him though.
No. Sounds of things. I've got to start a new company where I can touch all the women I want to touch. That's what it sounds like to me.
Yeah,
It's
more of a step
terrible.
sideways than a step down.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah.
Getting financing
Yeah.
from Andrew Tate.
The alpha male himself. Yeah, he'll be HR, won't he?
Oh God, imagine that.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah. Lovely. Next.
Moving on from that, in the world of film and TV, Noah Hawley's Alien series has made its first big casting and added Sydney Chandler. As per Variety, Chandler will lead the FX show, which will enter production once Hawley has finished up with the current season of Fargo, which is the 5th season, I believe. Chandler is best known for her work on Danny Boyle's Sex Pistols miniseries Pistol. You saw that, didn't you, Candy?
I did. I enjoyed it.
I loved it as well. She's good. She's really good.
Yeah, she's next set to appear in the Colin Farrell-led sci-fi series Sugar for Apple TV.
Apple TV getting that sci-fi on, aren't they?
I'm enjoying all this sci-fi that's coming out at the minute.
I guess it warrants some hope for the Alien series, I guess.
Well, maybe
Yeah,
it'll be
I mean, the only way is up, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
After Covenant, the only way is that they can't possibly produce a product worse than Covenant.
No, they can't.
No,
I'm not throwing down the
can't.
gauntlet for him to take that challenge, but just
I mean, the thing is, the Alien franchise hasn't had its predators yet.
no, that is true. That is true.
Like Covenant was bad, but it wasn't like offensively bad. It was just shit.
Oh, it was kind of bordering on
Yeah.
offensively bad.
Okay, yeah, it was, but that's mostly because it had Danny McBride in it. But
Covenant's not as bad as Prometheus.
true, and neither of them are as bad as
Prometheus.
Predators, is what I'm saying.
And neither of them are as bad as Alien Resurrection. People like that film for some reason. I don't. I think it's bad.
Agreed.
Gadget's being quiet because he likes it.
I like the underwater bit,
yeah, well, 10 minutes. Of
That
the
was the only good bit. I
Yeah.
totally agree.
and Sigourney Weaver
Yes.
doing that dunk from over her shoulder at the basketball
Yeah.
court.
But in one try, wasn't it? Apparently.
Yeah, it
As-
was first try, and if you look carefully, you can just about see Ron Perlman breaking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I imagine Sigourney Weaver being good at basketball, though. I can just see it. Just as one of them skills she didn't realise she had, and she's got it.
Yeah,
Get away from my basket, you bitch!
Nice. Next. It's going to be all night, this Gadget.
It's gonna
Gonna
be,
all
isn't it?
night. Mm.
Nicolas Cage returns for Lords of War. The 59-year-old actor is set to return in his role as gunrunner Yerl Orlov in the sequel to the 2005
Yuri.
film Lord of War.
it's a Yuri,
Yuri.
not
Oh,
Yuri.
Yuri. Yeah, Yerl. Sorry, smart eyesight. Andrew Niccol will once again direct, and it will feature the world's most notorious gunrunner discovers that he has a son called Anton, who isn't trying to right his father's wrongs, but top them instead.
The weird thing about this is the original is based on true story.
It
The
is.
sequel cannot be based on true story
No.
for real life reasons.
Yes.
So this is just complete fabrication because Lords of War is a good
Didn't
film.
didn't the guy that Lord of War was based on?
It was a different name.
A different name, but he had the standard Russian resignation, which is jumping out of a window.
Oh dear.
Jumping out of a window. Also, he basically funded any paramilitary activities in Africa, Europe. He basically gave
Chechnya, I think, if I remember right.
Chechnya, he just gave all the guns to everyone. Because how he saw it was, if I give guns to everyone, I'm always going to have a job because it's always going to be war.
Yeah. And he's not biased.
But I don't think he's biased for money, mate, and profit.
Yes, but he's not biased for who he gives guns
Politically.
to. So,
Yeah, that's true.
I'm on the fence.
I really like Lord of War, so I'll be interested to see how they top it with this one, especially the idea of, I mean, I like the idea of Bill Skarsgård playing his son, but also the fact that his son is trying to outdo him, because it's pretty hard to outdo Yuri Orlov.
I know Orlov's Ukrainian, and if he was alive today, the character based on him, apparently half of the ammunition that he used is helping Ukraine fight off the Reds at the moment. So maybe it did help. Who knows?
Fair enough.
Maybe they'll touch on that as well. I've read the book that's based on the real events rather than the film as well. And the real events are actually crazier than the film, and the film's fucking crazy.
Yeah, I don't know much about the film, but
Oh, it's insane.
It's a great film.
It's one of my favourite Nick Cage roles. And it's got Jared Leto in it, and he's not terrible.
Not terrible. One of his final good roles.
Yeah.
So that was pre the Oscar crackening, wasn't it?
Well, all he had to do was play a Ukrainian-American cokehead. He did it really well. He did it really well.
I wonder why.
I wonder why. Yeah, good film. If you've not watched it, watch it. It's on Netflix, I think, still. It's always been up and down on Netflix, that one. Get it watched. Next.
Disney is set to purge content from streaming platforms such as Disney Plus and Hulu as they merge. In addition to removing the content from other streaming services, the House of Mouse has also told investors they will be producing less content moving forward. In the recent investor call...
Go on, sorry. Carry on.
The company commented Disney Plus recently losing more than 2 million subscribers. The service's first significant drop since clients joined in 2019.
Do you know why Disney Plus lost 2 million subscribers?
Is Mandalorian stopped?
No,
MCU universe?
No, it's even more mundane than that. The Disney Plus
Free trials ended?
No, Disney Plus lost the rights to host Indian cricket. That was it. So people in India, so 2 million people in India, who
they're
by and
national
large,
sport.
by and large, the world's greatest consumer of cricket content, went up with the streaming service that got it. That's what it was. It's not lost 2 million subscribers in the West. It's lost 2 million subscribers just because they didn't keep up the cricket license.
Yeah, there you go. That makes massive sense. Cricket's good.
I don't like cricket.
I fucking do.
I love it.
Hey! Biggie was walking in the news. Contemplating on next.
Following on from the confirmation of Jenna Ortega's casting in Beetlejuice 2, it has two more actors added to the casting list. According to Deadline, Justin Theroux
He's good.
will join Michael Keaton, also reprising the titular role. And in addition, we'll also have Monica Bellucci.
Oh, she active again. Justin Theroux's really good. He's in my second favourite show of all time, The Leftovers.
He's in Rex and Park and Rex, isn't he? Or whichever way around it is.
I think he's in some of it, yeah. And he's... What else is he in? He's in loads of stuff. He did Mosquito Coast recently. I like him. I think he's good. But if you've not watched Leftovers, watch that. It's weird though. This Jenna Ortega business attached to Tim Burton. Is she the new Christina Ricci?
I think so. Yeah. Seems to be the new muse, doesn't it?
Yeah. It's like, is she just going to stare at people for the rest of her career?
I mean, I think she's got enough going on that won't be the case. Hopefully, although she is taking sort of lots of horror roles, isn't she? She was in Scream as well, so yeah, she's just a new Scream queen.
Yeah.
Also mentions that Winona Ryder and Catherine O'Hara are also returning.
Oh, so he's bringing the old guard back. Oh, I'm a bit on the fence with this because I think Tim Burton's more misses than hits, in my opinion.
Has been of
He's done
late,
some-
for sure.
I mean, I think he's done some absolute timeless classics, but he misses quite often. Like, people love that fucking Alice in Wonderland shite he did. I hated it.
No, it was crap, that.
I hated Willy Wonka, or Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, whatever he called it.
It was
Last film I liked that he did was Sleepy Hollow.
fair.
That's because it's batshit. But yeah, I think it's a bit miss. It's Tim Burton. Maybe people love him still. Or rose tinted glasses again. Just to think back to, because Beetlejuice is fantastic. We all know that.
You'll always get the crowd that will go to any Tim Burton film, myself included. Whether or not you
you're
like
part
it.
of the church.
Yeah.
You know,
The striped steeples.
I mean, I quite like Corpse Bride and I quite like Sweeney Todd.
Oh, I do like Sweeney Todd, yeah.
Yeah, but then after that it goes, because Alice in Wonderland was crap and Dark Shadows was shite.
I never even watched Dark Shadows.
Oh, it was really bad. Dumbo was fucking weird.
That was so bad.
Yeah,
as
that
well.
was a strange.
I fell asleep.
Did he
Daughter
do?
loves
Oh, he
it.
did. He
It's
did
weird.
the remake, didn't he? Of
Yeah.
Dumbo.
Yeah.
But then like you go to his 80s, 90s content, you've just got banger after banger because you got like Beetlejuice, Batman, Edward Scissorhands, Ed Wood,
Yeah.
Mars Attacks, Sleepy Hollow.
Oh, Mars Attacks. Yeah.
He did the 2001 Planet of the Apes, which was odd.
Not as bad as people make out, but not as good as some people would say.
No.
Okay. I'm here for it. Candy's definitely here for it. Let's just see what happens, isn't it? Let's see what Tim Burton's got left in the tank. Because he's still a mad fucker, isn't he?
Yeah. So is
Lots of
Michael
frogs,
Keaton.
that guy. Yeah, Keaton's been mad since. early
Keaton's always
80s.
been mad.
Yeah, that man's insane and he knows it. And that's the best thing about him. Cool. Next.
Over to the weird world web. Pensioner urinated on the track was killed by a flying cow after it was launched 100 foot into the air by the carriage. Shiv Dayal Sharma, 82, was reportedly urinated next to the train track in the region of Alvar in India when the incident occurred last month. It's thought the animal was hit by the Van Bharat Express train before landing on Mr. Sharma.
Oh, Jesus.
I've told you all this before. An average of 900 people a year get killed by cows.
I
Not
don't
that
think that one
specific
goes
way.
in. Yeah, this one doesn't really go into the statistics. This one's like
I think it does.
This one's like God going "fuck you" in particular.
Did you say it was in India as well? A place where
Yeah.
they are sacred. So that's definitely God doing that. God's like, you're having this. I'm sending one of my beast of burden to kill you.
Can you imagine,
is-
like, how fast the train was going to launch a cow 100 foot into the air?
Fucking hell.
Well, most trains, the average is like
I know, but
150,
it's just
150 miles per hour, isn't it?
I'm actually kind of
Just
interested. I mean, the fact that cow was still in one piece after being hit, was he pelted by bits of cow or was it like a full cow?
Another man in the area narrowly escaped being caught by the flying carcass as well.
Carcass.
assume they
I mean,
were-
just dead.
I would assume it would be dead on impact.
It wasn't going moo. Was
I was expecting it to be alive. I was just expecting
What
it to
if,
not be in one
the
piece.
land where the cow is sacred, the train hits the cow, the train bangs into the cow like the Hulk punches the car, the train flips over the cow and lands on the man, and cow's just like, "Brr."
Train to Moo-san.
Oh, there we go.
Episode title.
There we go. There we go. Is that the news?
Yes, sir. That is the
Lovely
news.
and brief. Felt good. I needed it. It's nourished me. Let's get some Nexus down his throat. Biggie. Carry on. What you been doing this week, mate?
Well, I just need to bring up a little bit of umbrage from last week's pod.
Here
Thanks
we
that I
go.
was not on there.
Knew this were coming.
I want to point out, as I listened back to it, nice to have Rob on, by the way. It was lovely to hear Rob being on.
Did you hear another southern accent? Is that what you mean?
Yeah, plebes, anyone who understood throughout the whole pod. It was mentioned by your good self, Oodles.
Yep.
When describing the topic, its verbose title, it may have changed our world. And that was what I was referring to, was the fact that consoles, when they're released, just come with their, default gigs. That is it. And you have to put up with that. So when games started getting bigger and bigger and bigger, you didn't have any space left on your hard drive. So the fact that you could open up your consoles and upgrade them became easier and easier, especially with the PS5. And you just take that big, massive flap off and you can put in your upgrade. It's much easier now. I even did it for my laptop. But to me, it's important. I've got a massive backlog of games. The only way I'm going to play them is if I've got access to them on my upgradable hard drive. It was important to me.
But I have never lived in a world where I've had a console that can download digital content that I've not been able to expand the storage of that particular console/computer. It's never been a world that's existed.
Xbox 360, you could get replacement hard drives and memory
everything
cards.
that you can. Everything you can do it. Yeah, but it's been since that kind of mediums existed.
Yeah. PS3 had a drive bay that you could upgrade things in.
Yeah, that's what
memory cards on the PS2 and PS1 and the GameCube and the Dreamcast.
It's always just it's just there.
Disagree.
Even the fucking N64 and expansion.
My point. I'm standing by my point. Thank you very much. I will hear no more.
You tell him, Biggie.
You fucking melt.
You were laughing about it as well, Candy.
Yeah, I know.
You thought it were hilarious. It was stupid. You probably cut most of the laughter out in the edit. I was fucking howling me out all week. I've been thinking about it.
I was outraged. Absolutely outraged.
Biggie, there is one concept that I worry that this might take the sheen off your shiny new little hard drive in your PS5.
I haven't got it for that.
No, you don't. You do know that you don't have to have the entire of your library installed on your console at any given time.
I don't think
I
you
do
do.
Know that. I know that. I
have 2 games installed on my PS5 at the minute.
Same. I just downloaded it. I just delete one and put a new one on.
No. What if your mate suddenly says, "Do you fancy a game of this?" Yeah, no worries. I don't
play games with my mates.
Well, there you go. I do.
Never going to happen. Oh, that's so fucking funny. I love it, and I love you. Loads.
I love you too.
Good.
Not last week.
Good.
Moving on. Whilst I'm having a rant, I might as well continue with this. I had the PGA, the Road to Masters, the PS5 latest golf game sent through. I want this. From my mate Kurt. Thank you very much for that, arranging that, Kurt. But I need to mention that, yes, it's a stunning looking golf game. Mm-hmm. Makes great use of the ambient sound from what I've seen so far. And it'll probably be the best current solo golf game out there.
Yes.
Local game, which is the whole reason why we wanted it, is a complete joke.
Why? It's usually my favourite thing. I play golf with.
It's done a Battlefield. It's by EA, so it's done a Battlefield for a golf game. You wouldn't believe it. This may not obviously bother a lot of people, but for us, it infuriated us. So once you've loaded up the game, you go into the options. You're able to create up to four custom characters. It actually only allows you to select one in a local mode. So if you're trying to play your mates, they are forced to select an actual real-life golfer who will have higher stats.
Rory McIlroy.
Yeah, well, which will have higher stats and skills than you, unless you actually play the main game to get the XP.
Bullshit. That is actually bullshit. That's not fair.
UI.
Sorry, Biggie. So what's stopping you just then when your mates are around and you're playing locally? Why don't you just fucking play as an actual player rather than a custom?
Because the idea is you want it to be either an avatar of yourself with your mates. You can make yourself look ridiculous. That's the whole point.
I get that. But in terms of just like as a workaround for this issue, is it so much of an issue for you all to play famous golfers? Because
obviously not. But yeah,
but then again. There is people like Rory McIlroy that would probably be highest ranked golfer on there. You know what I mean? That's the problem. You
can select,
even if you are all
example,
superstars, there's going to be one that's always going to be better.
Yeah. So, for example, your character will start with, I think it was a level like 67 in the game, which is a really random number, of like a handicap, I guess, and then it goes right up to, like you say, 93 or something. The lowest one you can pick is 78.
Still way better than you.
So yeah, it's such a weird anomaly. Like every other golf game you've ever played will allow you to create your own characters and just play as them, go off you go. The UI is really frustrating to use. It's just got really weird options that don't make any sense. The in-game music is appalling. You know, in like FIFA 23 or any FIFA, you get like a
Check
soundtrack
it out
of
now.
popular
Soul
tracks.
Brother.
This just has on-hold music in the background. It's absolutely awful. We want to switch that off immediately. There is clearly some lag when you're pressing the various button combinations. You can use the sticks to swing, or you can do the old 3-button press. You know, press the button, your swing goes off, and then you press it.
Are you a stick guy or a button guy on golf?
We're stick guys, but we tried out the button
well.
press as well, but it's got massive lag when you press it.
Is it PGA 2K23 you're playing? Is it?
Yeah, the EA one, Road to Masters.
Oh right, sorry, no. Because
it's not the 2K one.
Yeah, there's the 2K, PG 2K.
This is the Masters one, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right, no, yeah, because
this is the one I was going to get because I love golf games.
I googled PGA 23 and I thought, how did Kirk get this? It's a 2K game, but I'm looking at the graphics on the 2K game. It looks shite. Sorry, I'm just going to Google the EA one.
The last game, which is the one that we played the most, is good fun. It's got
really
loads of
good,
custom courses. The graphics are functional. That's all you really need for a golf game, to be honest. The fact that this looks amazing is just a bonus, really. But hilariously, if you're using different controllers, the sounds will only come out of the Player 1 controller.
What are they doing?
And it gets worse. Speaking of which, when you play, the control will randomly switch between players so that you couldn't play your next shot without swapping your controller for the other guys for some weird reason.
Oh.
And then you can control the aim and direction of the person's next shot, but you can't take the shot.
Wow.
Right.
Yep. The crowd is well animated at times, but will still not react to a ball heading directly towards them. They'll just continue to pleasantly walk along or just stand there as the ball lands.
It's got a decent score on Metacritic, though, mate.
It has, and I think a lot of it's to do. I think a lot of it's to do with the single player, where I'm sure it's functional and plays really well. But what they've done with
I only play the single player ones. I fucking love golf games, mate.
And they really are pushing the online play as well. There's no decent options for a local play. It's all play online. Play this challenge online.
They haven't got card packs or anything, have they?
Multiplayer online. Yeah, there's loads of stuff you can
unlock some new trousers.
Pay for, all that kind of thing. And weirdly, you cannot make your character fat, which I did try. And you're also given the option to choose your caddy, although in any of the play that we played, he never appears. But there is no female caddy option, considering you can have female golfers. Which I thought was
no. You can't have female staff on a golf course. That would be crazy. I mean, women there working?
Not in Britain, at least.
Too distracting.
And also, don't you know fat people aren't allowed to be golfers these days? The rule came in last year.
Look, they invented a sport for fat people. They should be happy with it. Sumo wrestling's there for a reason, guys. Catering. It caters.
And darts.
And darts especially. Athletes. Athletes.
Peak physical.
There for you.
Just as we were really excited to play this for, there's a bunch of us that play this around a mate's house, like any golf game that's decent to play at the time, and we're really looking forward to this release. But I'll have a crack at the single player at some point, and I'm sure
best golf game I've played in ages is the Mario one, and it's not perfect. It's not super good.
Golf games go through weird peaks and valleys, because I remember there was like back in like the 360 days, like the Tiger Woods games were awesome. But then,
with Tiger Shot.
Yeah, and then you go through like a period, like we're in a period now where there's no face to it, so they all lull down.
Yeah, it's just middling golf games.
That was the other thing. When we were playing, they've got this really serious simulation of golf. And if you do that super power shot, then you get that slow-mo with fireworks going off when you take your shots.
Used to call them Tiger Shots, didn't they? They used to call them Tiger Shots
which was really good when the original games had that more cartoony feel. This has gone for like real full-on sim, and then you got this weird animation come out of nowhere. But
on the last Tiger Woods game, Candia like this, you could do the Happy Gilmore run up to the golf ball stance on your character. You could actually do it, and it's like, yeah, it was a bit more arcadey, wasn't it? It was good. They were good. The Tiger Woods ones were good.
But we just like going to the mate's house, having beer, chatting while we're playing, and it's just a really easy game to, golfing. It's just a nice chilled out game to play.
I spend too long playing golf games on my own and snooker games on my own. It's ridiculous. Proper high pace games. If they had a good darts game, I would be the person to buy it. Fucking love mundane sports, me. Love them.
we did check a few reviews to see if other people had the same problems that we were having. They also confirmed that, yeah, it was a local game issue.
It might get
a lot
patched.
of people were playing with their fiancé, which is interesting.
I get patched, mate. Look forward to it.
The only other thing I wanted to mention that I've done this week is I caught a YouTube series, which I didn't know was around, called The Art of Action. And I mentioned Scott Adkins before. He's a British martial artist that's in a lot of movies, including John Wick 4. He played the fat guy in that.
Yep.
And Hitman, obviously. And he's got a YouTube series where he's interviewing legends from the movies, whether they're past and present, actors, directors, etc. The list includes Tony Jaa, Michael J. White, Mark Dacascos, Steven Seagal, Cynthia Rothrock.
Steven Seagal. I've got to watch that one.
Yeah, Dolph Lundgren, Iko Uwais. I'm not quite sure how you pronounce his name.
Nailed it.
But the one that I actually was interested in watching was Keanu Reeves, and it's a two-parter. And it goes through the movies, the action movies, basically, of Keanu Reeves. And it's basically, like we're doing, having a Zoom, Skype, Discord call.
Yeah.
And Scott's
Don't tell him how we do it.
He's got a really good dry sense of humour, and he just chats with Keanu about all of his movies and how the action was done and training and what he did for this role. And then they go through scenes that they picked out. It's just really cool. And whatever you think of Keanu's acting as an actual person, he's the nicest, humblest bloke you can
he's brilliant.
imagine. Everyone knows
person.
this, but when you actually see him being interviewed and chatting, he's so humble. And it was really nice watching the.
He's awesome with
Scott
kids. He's
interview.
awesome at meet and greets and stuff. He's a proper nice bloke. He just can't act. He can stunt. He can stunt like a bad boy, and he can fight like a bad boy. He just cannot speak. It's when he speaks, he just hasn't got that gravitas that an actor should have.
Yeah.
For a bit of interesting trivia,
Whoa.
in case you don't know, he damaged his neck before he did The Matrix.
Yeah.
And he had to train with that, and he never told them. He had an operation prior to the movie. And there's some behind-the-scenes stuff where he's wearing like that foam neck brace. And I think he just told them he had a bit of an injury, but didn't actually explain that he had a very serious injury. Where
He got
had
injured
some
playing ice
discs
hockey, didn't he?
Replaced.
Yeah, I know.
But-
He's an ice hockey guy, isn't he?
Yeah, he had to be very careful when he was making that movie. And considering the amount of stunts that he does in that movie, he's lucky technically he didn't kill himself.
Oh, he's phenomenal. He's phenomenal in them films. I've only just recently watched that first trilogy of the John Wicks, and it's when he shuts up and he starts chopping. He's great. You can't argue with Keanu Reeves' choreography skills.
I might have been a bit hard on John Wick 3 when I sort of look back in hindsight, but there are a few issues I had with the fighting. But now, especially after
And
watching
4's
this
apparently the
and
best
hearing
one.
I really need to see 4. But I'm really impressed even more about Keanu Reeves as an action star. Very impressive. I'm looking forward to watching the rest of the videos, the ones I'm interested in.
Awesome. Candy, what you been doing?
Hello from Bristol. The results are as follows. We award Modern Escapism 0 points. Yeah,
Sounds about right.
I haven't really done much this week. I did watch Eurovision last night, and I had a good fucking time too. Had an absolute banger of a drinking game.
Talk me through it. Talk me through what Eurovision is.
It is a. How do we put this? It's a romp into ridiculousness.
It's a battle of the bands.
A singing contest.
It's a singing contest. For those outside of Europe, they probably have absolutely no idea, with the exception of Australia, what goes on.
Why are they in it?
What do you mean Australia?
Australia in the Eurovision. It's because it's something to do with the TV network, I think.
Commonwealth?
They pay into this certain TV network so they get to appear in it.
Fuck
like World
off.
Series, like World Series baseball.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh
It's
yeah,
just
like
taken
World
it-
Series baseball in America.
It's taken on it's a life of its own. Like, you don't enter your best singers into Eurovision. You enter the most camp, the biggest show, the just most ridiculous, cheesy acts you can possibly find, and basically try and
Where was it
out-cheese
held?
each other. It was in Liverpool this year. We were holding it on. So Ukraine.
Oh, is it always in England? Is it always in England?
No. The previous year's winner is the host, but because last year Ukraine won it,
They ain't hosting it.
yeah,
No.
we came second, so they said they would do it here. It was agreed with Ukraine
right.
that it would be done here.
Surely that's got to cost money.
Oh yes.
Yes.
Pretty penny. but it brings
taxpayers'
joy.
money?
It brings joy to
it's
all of
private.
you.
Is it private? As long as it's private, I'm fine
Define
with it.
joy.
Well, listen,
You've had too much joy this past month, Britain. You've got a new king. You've had the Eurovisions. What else do you want? A new prime minister? Maybe you'll get one.
Hopefully.
fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed.
Maybe we should have a competition like Eurovision to announce the next prime minister. They just
Yes.
have to
We do. It's
outrank
called
each other.
democracy.
It's called an election, isn't it?
It's called an election.
They need
It's the
to
same
perform
pomp
the
and
song.
pageantry.
I need to know what like unpractical skills they have. Like, what can they bring to the table in terms of the United Nations meetings and stuff? Can they juggle?
Without getting too political, I can tell you most of them are pretty much identical. They all went to the same school.
And please don't put this out into the universe, because this is how you get Rishi Sunak twerking on a desk at the UN. And do you really want that in the world?
Could you
I
imagine?
mean, we've seen some interesting dances, haven't we, from previous leaders?
No one as good. No one's as good as the sportsmanship of Boris Johnson when he tackled that Chinese kid in rugby.
Oh, yeah, he fucking
He
nailed
fucking
that kid.
annihilated that child. That child's dead now. And when he got stuck on that zip line, oh god,
Like,
what a guy. We'll
We're
get
not
him
a
on the show
normal
next
country.
week.
Someone to be proud of.
Normal country. Who won the Eurovision then?
Sweden. For the second time. Right, there's a bit of there's drama going on here.
As in Sweden.
Do you
ABBA,
agree with the
Sweden.
result?
No. Listen to this. So,
Oh,
Sweden won.
here we
It's
go.
it's the second time that this artist has entered and won Eurovision, which is fine in itself, not so much of a coincidence. But next year, it's the 50th anniversary of ABBA winning Eurovision. Bit of a
It's a
coincidence.
fix then. It's
Yeah.
a fix.
Bit of a
It's fucking
coincidence.
fix.
But actually, what they do now, for the last 3 years, they've had a public vote as well as the jury vote, which is so different. Like,
Is it a court?
so the Finland, who came in seconds, they were doing pretty badly, very mediocre, until it became the public vote, and they ended up coming second. But the same thing happened with the winners a couple of years ago with Italy's entry. Completely mediocre and ended up
So
winning
it
'cause of the
depends
public
which
vote.
countries, which has got the most viewers win it.
No, because you're not allowed
Or
to vote for your
willing
own
to pay
country.
money to vote. You're not allowed to
Yes.
vote for your own country.
Not allowed to vote for your own
That's-
country.
And
That's clever.
it's also weighted, so there is a judging panel for each country, and then the public vote gets counted on top of
And
that.
I bet, I don't want to I don't want to like throw stones in glass houses and stuff, but I bet it's not political at all. Some of these
No,
choices,
absolutely
are
not. No way.
No,
No.
no.
Weren't they
No, well,
supposed to not
like-
have
like-
actual proper musicians enter? But they've had people that have been pop stars in the past, haven't they? Actually come on and...
It's not the Olympics. They're allowed professionals in, surely.
I thought the
It's just
idea
a
of it
singing
was not
competition.
supposed to be that, though. I thought
Well, a
that's the
couple of
whole
years
point.
ago, we had
Cliff Richard was in one.
We had Engel Bumper.
Engelbert Humperdinck.
Slapsy back.
Fuck's sake. Him.
Engelbert
Humperdinck.
Humperdinck.
I
Yeah,
think
we had Bucks Fizz and Cliff Richard.
and Johnny Rotten entered for Ireland. Did not.
Yeah.
He didn't even pass the preliminaries in the Irish.
No,
the
the Irish people didn't fucking want him.
No.
Can you enter for any other country then? You don't have to be born in that country.
You don't have to be born there. You have to live there. I believe.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. It's weird. Eurovision's such a foreign thing to me. Well, literally is foreign, but it's such a concept that I've never indulged
It's
in it. It sounds
the
pathetic,
most
to be honest.
ridiculous fucking thing you'll watch. It is just completely on its own level.
I remember Terry Wogan used to commentate on it, didn't he? He was actually quite funny, from what I recall. Catching
Oh, yeah, 'cause he
the
was-
odd one
he was-
in the past.
Because he was hammered.
Drunk.
They're
Yeah,
all
drunk.
drunk.
It's Terry
does it
Wogan.
now?
He was never not drunk.
It's Graham Norton now.
He's always hammered.
He's always hammered. He was absolutely, and
hell.
he throws shade towards all of the acts as well. Oh, and the lady that hosted, I can't remember her name.
Hannah Waddingham.
Yeah, she's amazing. She is absolutely batshit crazy in real life, as it turns out. Love her.
Yeah.
Ted Lasso woman.
Yeah.
She is something else.
Mm.
She
That's a
is
bit Euros.
something else.
That's a bit Eurovision. So yeah, absolutely hammered. That's why I'm a little bit quiet today. I'm feeling,
did,
feeling the Eurovision headache.
Where did England or Britain or whatever the class themselves as, where did we place?
Second to last, so we actually did really well this year.
Second to last.
Yeah.
And we came second. Who did they have on when we came second then?
Sam Ryder.
Which let's be real. If we came second against Ukraine, we came first.
We came first.
Yeah.
We definitely came first.
Because that was probably a vote of like,
It was a
we're all
sympathy vote,
behind
yeah.
you.
Yeah.
So are Russia not in it?
No.
Oh,
Never have been.
This is have they not?
Don't
This
believe
is
so.
just politics. This is just politics, man.
The,
I should start watching Eurovision. Sounds good.
People are suggesting that the fact that Great Britain did so badly this year, they were just doing a My Lovely Horse from Father Ted. Because
they didn't want to host it again.
Didn't want to host it again, couldn't afford it. So they put in a really shit song.
Yeah, we can't afford this, guys. We're going through a fucking crisis economically. Yeah. There's a cost of living crisis. We can't do it.
We don't need to enter a shit song to come last. That's where the politics come in.
Oh, it just sounds fascinating. But again, I'm not going to tune in next year. It's not going to happen.
Oh, guys, we
seem
could have a party.
though. I have to do it at your house. I can't get BBC on my telly.
Well, neither can I, but shh.
Oh,
Dun, 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 dun.
I'm
They
telling
would-
the Director General.
They'd
right now. I'm ringing
understand.
him up.
They'd understand.
Oh, disgusting. Saying that, you live in a block of flats. You're all
Exactly. What they're going to do. They have to catch me first. I'm like a whippet.
Right. There it is. There it is.
On that
What are they
bike
going to do?
you've got.
Shoot me? What else you been doing?
Absolutely nothing. that was my big reveal, Eurovision.
You've had such a British month this
I
month so
know.
far. You're having a great time. You're drinking tea and scones and
Yeah, and I knew you would
Crumpets.
absolutely call me out for it as well. But yeah, that's right. I've been an institution this month.
you need institutionalising.
Yeah, I do. I do.
Oh, wait till you enter His Majesty's prison.
Yeah, I won't be quite so patriotic then, will I?
You'll feel dead British then. For not paying your telly licence.
What's it? The prisoner, when they're doing on the Lonely Hearts thing, what do the prisoners say? They're on a long holiday.
Yeah.
Holiday,
You'll see
yeah.
me in Kerrang magazine in the Lonely Hearts candy machine on a long holiday looking for love.
In His Majesty's pleasure.
HMB Cardiff.
Kerrang used to did that, didn't it? It used to be
Yeah.
like
Yeah, they used to.
bubbly emo girl, West Sussex, looking for rock star boyfriend. It's like, all right.
Above the
love.
Pandora cartoons.
Yeah, so
Fucking
good.
hell.
Kerrang was such a fucking terrible read, but I still did it. I still read it. That's
Yeah.
the problem.
Every week.
Enemy was so much better. Anyway, Gadget, what you been doing, mate?
I've been doing a couple of things. One of the things I'll talk about with you, because we've been kind of doing the same thing.
Wanking, loads of wanking.
A significant amount. It's worn down to a nub.
I'll come into that chat.
Title of your sex tape?
Biggie has entered the game.
The thing I want to talk about is I started reading Antimatter Blues, which is the sequel to Mickey 7 by Edward Ashton. This, I had no idea it was out. It just appeared on Amazon one day. I was just like, I'll have that.
I love a novelised treat like that.
Yeah.
What's it called again? Sorry, so I can write it down.
Antimatter Blues.
Antimatter Blues.
So,
I've got the Antimatter Blues.
yeah. So this one takes place 2 years after Mickey 7 finished, following Mickey's retirement from being an expendable, where he's no longer getting killed for a living.
Like he told us.
Yeah, he is basically charged with finding the big antimatter bomb that he left hidden out in the snowscape of the planet that they're on, because their reactor is dying due to a kind of a fuck up on his part, and they need the fuel for it. So when he goes to look for it, dun dun dun, it's gone missing. But when he's walking around the base, he thinks he's seeing things. He's seen another couple of Mickeys.
Uh-oh.
So he's also investigating as to who might be printing more copies of it.
Do you know in some countries Mickey's a slang for cock?
I know. I'm very
I
aware.
didn't know that.
Slip you a Mickey.
Yeah, I'll just get me Mickey out.
I thought that was like a date rape thing. Like a Mickey
Yes.
was
There is
something
that
you
as
put in a
well.
drink.
There is that as
Oh.
well.
That's
There's
the end result of the... Yeah, anyway.
That took a turn.
It did. But no, this book is basically, it's more of the same from Mickey 7. It's still just as funny. Mickey is still kind of engaging an unwilling hero, main character kind of guy.
Lovable oaf.
Yeah.
Not like me.
The side characters kind of don't, at the point I'm at, haven't really been fleshed out any more than they need to be. They're all a little bit kind of one-dimensional like they were in the first book, because Mickey really is the star of it all. And it's funny. It's basically, if you enjoyed Mickey 7, you'll really enjoy this.
You'd think it'd be called Mickey 8, wouldn't you?
Oh no, Mickey 8 was in Mickey 7.
Oh, God. Of course it was.
The Mickeys basically identify themselves by a number as, which regeneration are they?
Yeah.
So the whole story of Mickey 7 was there was another Mickey, and seven should have been killed for 8 to exist, but it never happened.
OMG.
Yeah, and yes, they have a threesome, because of course they do.
How did you know I was thinking that?
Because I know your mind. It's also what I was thinking when I started reading the book and Mickey 8 came into it.
I mean, if you're technically shagging a clone of yourself, it's just wanking, innit?
I guess.
Think about it.
I don't think I'd be very aroused if another me got involved there. I'd be like, oh, God, that's what I look like. Oh, no.
You're so harsh on yourself. There's thousands of people screaming now on the podcast players now going, date me, Candy, date me.
HMP Cardiff, write to them. I'll write back.
She's right there.
But I'm really enjoying it so far. It's also still a really easy read. Like the first kind of reading session I was an hour in and I was 50 pages in. Like it just flies by.
I love that. I'm all about that.
It's less than 300 pages long in total. So again, like Mickey 7. So it still goes on.
Novella.
It's short for a novel, too long for a novella. But it goes on at a fair clip, and it's just enjoyable, pulpy sci-fi. So yeah, like I say, if you haven't read Mickey 7, read it. Also,
I've got it on my
Kindle. Yeah, read it.
I wouldn't call it Pindle then. What's a Pindle?
I don't know. I think you're high.
I'm not high.
And the film version of it comes out, I think, later this year.
I'm so looking forward to
who's
it.
in that then? Do you know?
Pats as Mickey.
He's good, him.
And it's directed by
him
who did Parasite, whose name I can never pronounce.
Bong Joon-ho.
Bong Joon-ho?
Yeah, him. Yeah.
Oh, that's going to be incredible then. Robert Pattinson is on a right streak at the moment, that man.
Oh, yeah. But I think they've rewritten it slightly for the film because the film's called Mickey 17, so he's died another 10 times.
It's just probably for gravitas.
I think we're going to see some just very quick comedy deaths there.
A
quick succession.
Like one of those montages in Deadpool.
Absolutely, yeah. I'm also. I think I listened. Obviously, I listened to my books. I think I listened to it on the way back from the podcast last time. But I'm just desperately refreshing Audible for it. So I know there's an audio version out there. It's just not on Audible yet. So I'm desperately refreshing to find it.
Where would that be then?
It's just
if it's not on Audible. Who releases audiobooks not on Audible?
Exactly. Random audio.
Do you not want money?
It's on the it's on the US Audible.
I know. I tried to VPN it as well. I can't do it.
Does it not work that way?
Interesting.
Edward Ashton, get on them. Get onto Amazon. Say Candy Machine really needs to listen. You need to release this in the UK.
Why don't you go over there to America, download it, come back?
That doesn't work. I tried it with a VPN. I'm more up for getting over there, getting him in a headlock, good noogie on the go on, sort it out.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I look forward to starting that.
Yeah, no, I think you'll enjoy it a lot. But yeah, that's the main thing I've been doing, apart from the thing I've been doing that you've been doing, but you've done more of it.
Okay, so nothing's happened in gaming landscape this week at all. No big releases come out or anything like that.
It's been a bit of a dearth, hasn't it?
I can't think of anything. Let me just scratch my head with this game case. If you're watching on YouTube, you can see what I'm. Oh no, I've got another one as well. I've got two. Anyway, that's a different story. The Legend of Zelda: A Nation Mourns, aka Tears of the Kingdom. I loved it when that joke came out when the Queen died. Fucking, that was so funny. You didn't like it though, did you, Ken?
I saw the funny side.
Yeah. Legend of Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom.
Timing's a weird thing, isn't it?
It is a weird thing. We've got a sequel to the 6-year-old game, Breath of the Wild. Probably top 5 Switch games of all time, that one was.
Probably top games of all time.
Yeah, not anymore. So, I've completed it.
You haven't, have you?
No, I have a fuck.
Kind of say.
I'm only about 7-8 hours in, which is weird for me. If you've not played Breath of the Wild, this is not going to change your mind. If you didn't like Breath of the Wild, this is not going to change your mind either. If you did, you will see Breath of the Wild as the demo to this game. Because, wow.
Yeah.
What, like, I mean, Kurt will happily remind me of this, probably for the rest of my life while I know him. I wasn't looking forward to this until a trailer came out a few weeks ago. Then I got hyped. Fuck. I can't imagine if I'd have been this hyped when it was announced back then. I'd have been shaking. But luckily I didn't have the hype for too long. But I got it anyway. And it's incredible. That's
Really
not
is.
hype. That's not hyperbole. You've been playing, haven't you, as well, Gadget?
Yeah.
It's special. Do you know how you get like when God of War, when the original God of War, 2016 God of War came out, and everyone's like, "Oh fuck, this is special." When I don't know, Half-Life 2 came out, and everyone's like, "Oh fuck, this is special." Oh, BioShock. Oh fuck, this is. It's one of those. This is a landmark title. This is a moment in history, and I'm 10 hours in. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah, no, I get it, yeah.
When you can see everything like stretch out before, this is like apparently 150-hour game. It's huge.
I can't believe it.
And yeah, so I'll give you that. I'll give you the premise. So it's a sequel to the last game. It's a Zelda game. You saved the world on the last game. It kicks off straight away. Another mystery to solve. I'm not going to tell you the plots, but you wake up. You're in the sky, in this sky continent. And how does it do it? How does it introduce the game with probably the best intro title screen?
Oh, yeah.
I've ever seen.
That skydiving title screen.
You start skydiving, and when I mean this is not just cause skydiving where you can go to stratosphere and get to Earth in about a minute. This is free-flowing skydiving that takes ages to get to the floor. Like,
yeah.
In a good way. You can speed it up if you want, and then you start skydiving. Link's hair's longer because he's been asleep. I don't know how much time he's been asleep for. I haven't got that far into knowing how long.
From what I've seen, it's supposed to be about 5 years after Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, he's been asleep anyway. And his hair's longer and it's flowing. Now I know why they made him have long hair. It's for the flying.
It is.
Because it looks awesome. It looks fucking awesome. Bear in mind, guys, this is on a 6-year-old console. Very underpowered 6-year-old console. And it looks incredible. It genuinely looks... The draw distance is fantastic for this. I mean, it's Monolith Soft again that have done the world, the guys who did Xenoblade. If you've ever played a Xenoblade game, those worlds are insane on this console. They use like a cel-shaded style cartoony vibe, which probably gets away with murder with the game engine, doesn't it? That's probably why they can do so much, because it's really... How do you explain it? It's not super detailed, is it, Gadget? It's stylized.
Yeah, it's very stylized, and it's partially for performance purposes.
Yeah.
Although from what I understand, it's on the Switch. It's still kind of dipping frame rates quite a lot.
But it does. But it's never like. It's no different to the last one, if you get what I mean.
Yeah.
Sometimes when explosions happen, it might go down to less than 20 frames per second. But it's not stopping me enjoying it.
No, I'm emulating it on Steam Deck, and I'm getting sort of 25 to 30 and then dropping down a little bit, but that's just the emulator.
Oh yeah, it's not detrimental at all. And what they've done, they've made this open world almost it's almost in vein of these Sims, what Sims that Gadget likes, these what they call
immersive Sims. It is an
immersive Sims. Yeah, it's like that. Of the first game was more It's a lonely world. You've got to get from A to B somehow. This is a lonely world. You've got to get from A to B somehow. And you've also got to solve awesome puzzles. Oh my God, the puzzles in this are fantastic. You've got new powers. You can merge anything. You dream it up. You can do it. It's like Minecraft or something, isn't it? It's some fucking wizardry how they've done this.
It's frustrating because they never really showed off what the Ultra Hand stuff and the kind of the building could do in the trailers, and like it's so far my favorite part of the game.
It's mine.
Like just like clagging stuff together and becoming a mad scientist and seeing what you can come up with.
Yeah. It's just the reason I've not got further into this game. I've got 2 anecdotes that's happened to me in my 10-ish hours that I've played so far. So when I landed on the ground and I'd got all the powers that still haven't got all the powers, but I got the powers I needed to create like Dr. Frankenstein. I decided I'm going to create a perpetual motion machine, a machine that will never stop. And guess what? I did it. Now, I made this machine. Imagine like a cube with loads of wheels sticking out of it. It's got a core in the middle of it, so this core will constantly recharge because it's a specific core that I've put in it that constantly recharges every so often. So it does stop eventually, but when the charge kicks back in autonomously, it'll carry on rolling and meandering through the countryside. And I thought, I'm never getting that machine back. It disappeared into the wilderness. 3 hours later, I was in a snowy bit, right? Not far from where I could, about a couple of miles away. And I was on this ice lake, and every step I took on this ice lake, the ice was cracking. And I thought, oh God, I've got to be really good. I'm about the middle of the lake, because you've got a stamina bar, and you'll die anyway. And I'm like, and I hear this coming in. I'm like, oh no, it's Boris, my perpetual motion machine, and he's coming, and it starts smashing it. And this is just happened because I decided to create this monstrosity. 2 hours later, that wouldn't have been a thing unless hubris got in the way, and I created a monster. Now I did die. Boris is off into the wild somewhere. My machine, I don't know where it is again. It's out there somewhere. Because I thought, because it does what it does what the other game does. The blood moon happens and all the enemies reset, which is a memory issue, isn't it? To keep the game nice and tight. It doesn't reset your creations. And Boris is still out there, and I'm frightened. I'm really scared. It's just mega. And my other anecdote is, I was in the sky. And you're miles in the air, and I thought, I'm going to see what happens if I just dive, like head first, and see what I land on. And if I die, I die. It don't matter. Diving. I'm like, fucking hell, I can see grass. I'm going to land on grass. Guess what I landed on?
Boris?
No, a horse. And I automatically caught this horse. It's a green horse. It's fantastic. I don't know how the game does these. Like, you like creating your own moments all the way through it, and I think that's the beauty of it. The story's all right. It's bobbins, really, isn't it? It's
a Zelda story. It doesn't need to be there.
Yeah, it's just there. I mean, it's way better than Breath of the Wild story. The NPCs do have actually plots
dialogue.
now.
Yeah,
dialogue, plots. They've got everything. It's the sandbox that I want on a portable device. And I think it's nigh on perfect. Just because of that. I can't imagine it falling off a cliff before credits. I really can't. It's sensational. And I heard Matt
Why
Mercer
do you have
beginning.
2 copies of it?
Oh, because I got sent 2 copies and I don't know why. I don't know why. I'm selling it. I'm selling the copy. I'm getting full whack back for that. It's just... This is the reason to get a Switch, in my opinion, or to emulate the fuck out of it. It's special. I think it's... Yeah, I'm going to say, I think so far it's best Zelda game I've played. And I really like A Link Between Worlds. That's my favourite. I think this is better already. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then again, you get that honeymoon period with games, don't you?
I'm
still smooching.
I'm very much enjoying that, but I haven't got out of the opening area. I'm still trying to get up to the 3rd shrine without freezing to death. I haven't found any warm clothes.
You've probably missed. There's some in one of the caves. There's some a chest, some trousers.
Fair enough. Need to find it anyway. Yeah, barreling around there at the minute and just putting together weird little gizmos.
When you proper land on Hyrule, mate, the game's just... Don't create a Boris like I did. Don't do it. Don't do it to yourself.
I won't.
I've also got a side hustle on the game where I've created a horse and cart, and I go around and take... We're talking about dogs earlier. You can't pet them, but you can lead them into your cart. I've got 7 dogs in a cart, and I'm just walking around Hyrule, dropping these dogs off at different stables for laugh, for no reward. Just doing it. So there's more dogs in the world, spread out. It's good. It's really good. It's just a good game. I fucking love it. I genuinely love it. I'm trying to see it of a way, because you can attach like some ropes on your horse and to drag carts. If I can get my green horse out, that's been my work horse, and if I catch another horse, can I then attach that and have 2 horses running? Because I know I can.
I've seen some TikTok of people doing that.
Because I've seen that you can attach rockets to your cart. Now, if I attach rockets to my cart as well as my horse, am I going to go really fast?
Yes.
This is going to be amazing. I've created a skateboard with a minecart. So when you can skate on your shield on the last one, can't you? But your shield breaks. Not when it's attached to a minecart. It don't. I've got an unlimited skateboard.
I still think it does. I still think eventually it breaks.
Oh well, it's not broke yet, and I've been grinding everywhere, mate. I just don't rush it, and that's coming from Mr. Mainline over here. Just enjoy what they've done to us, what they've given to us.
I do like they've put more minecarts in it. They clearly saw the people fucking around with the minecarts in Breath of the Wild and thought, let's make this an actual mechanic.
Yeah. I mean, there's still massive reveals that I'm not even going to spoil, even in the first 5 hours. Like, that made my jaw drop and think, how have they done this? Like, Gadget. I could tell you off air, but...
No, I don't.
It's mind-blowing what it did.
I'll get there, don't worry.
You will. You're not far off it, even. First few hours in, you'll see, and you'll be like, holy shit. But yeah, this... Do you know how Elden Ring were inspired by Breath of the Wild?
Yeah.
I'm now looking forward to what From Software does after they're inspired by this. Because they always look at that as like, that's our challenge. I want to see what devs do with this. Do you know what I mean? This is like, I was playing it with my son a little bit earlier, and he's like, it's like Roblox. I went, how dare you? How dare you say this is like Roblox? But apparently Roblox has been doing this for years. But
earlier in the week, everyone went mad with the scores, didn't they? The 10 out of 10s, and it's obviously scored really highly, hasn't it?
Is it like a 96 it's landed on or something like that? 97, 96? It's just incredible. It is a reason, even if you can lease a Switch for a few weeks and just enjoy it, just get a PC that can emulate it or something. It's probably the best Nintendo game I've played in about 20 years. Already. It's insane how good it is. And again, I'm nowhere... Like, if you played it properly, Gadget, you'd catch up with me in about 2 hours. Because I've just not done story. I've got my own life in Hyrule. I'm a dog napper, and I'm avoiding Boris at all costs. I don't know when he's going to crop up next.
You know what's going to happen? There is going to be at one point you'll be like in a pitched fight with a Lionel or something like that, and he's just going to roll over you and kill you.
Yeah. Or what if he gets the Lionel? I'm like, we've become friends. We've been.
It's like that Nemesis thing from the Lords of the Ring games, isn't it?
Well, I've been holding my Switch, like every time I've been playing it handheld, I've been like hovering over the record button just in case he turns up, in case Boris starts rolling into it, and just so I can show people the horror of him. Because I forgot to record it when I created him. Just the sheer horror. It's just a Lovecraftian cube of wheels and fire. He's awful. When I next see him, I will record it and I'll post it for everyone to see. He's horrendous. I hate him. He's the true villain in this. A creature of my own design. But it's so good. Please play it. Please get it. It's sensational. That's the Nexus. That is the Nexus. Let's move on to the main topic. Real life. Films based on real life. Now, when a film is based on real life, things get changed for dramatic reasons and for film reasons and narrative reasons. I'm allowing that in this, but I don't mean Forrest Gump. Where he's placed into real situations that don't count. So if you've got Forrest Gump on your list, take it off. I could see Biggie deleting Forrest Gump. Go on, Biggie. What you got? What you bring to the table? Some of your films that speak to you that are based on real life.
I've got a few here. I'm not going to go into much depth about them. Just wanted to mention them. One or two I've talked about before in the pod for the main reason why. Zodiac.
Oh, yeah. That was in my top 5.
I thought that was a fantastic movie based on the serial killer.
So in Zodiac, were the actual detectives were they real, or were they dramatized? I can't remember.
No, I think they were. I think even
I think they were, weren't they? Matt Ruffalo.
Gyllenhaal's character Graysmith, who was the political cartoonist, is the real deal. He was
I think so as well. I think I recall it being real. But did they ever actually catch the Zodiac killer in real life?
I mean, again,
they caught someone, didn't they? Was it the Zodiac killer?
It was unsolved, basically, but they indicated that, I think I got it here somewhere, where did it say? The producer spent 18 months conducting their own investigation research for the movie, and obviously put their, like a lot of films do, they put their spin on what they thought happened. And I remember that they indicated it was this one particular person that they thought was the real person.
I remember watching a behind the scenes of Zodiac the film. It's great, isn't it? Is it Fincher?
It's gripping. It's so good, and it also shows you the obsession of Graysmith had this, wonderful family life, etc. And pretty much lost that to his obsession.
It's got obsession.
The story, and Gyllenhaal's fantastic in it, as is everybody else, but he obviously is the standout from that, I believe. And
it's Mark Ruffalo, and it's Thingy as well, isn't it? Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah,
I haven't seen it. I hadn't seen it since it came out. I bet it's good to go back to that.
Rewatch it. I've seen it twice, and I think it's excellent. It grips every time. It's just so well done. David Fincher's movie.
Yeah, I remember really liking it then.
Another shout again for JFK. If you haven't watched it, just watch the extended cut. It's a long film, but
it's 5 hours long, isn't it, that extended one?
No, I think it's 3.5 hours, if I remember. Pushing maybe 4 hours, but
I do watch Return of the King every 2 months, so I can do that.
But it's just, again, Oliver Stone's take on what happened. But
it's great, isn't it?
The final speech by Costner at the end, and where he delivers as the evidence, is fantastic. It's just the build up. The whole movie is basically building up to that moment, and it's just so fantastically done.
I was never a mega Kevin Costner fan until I watched JFK. I
liked him in The Untouchables, Field of Dreams.
Untouchables good.
Yeah.
Did you like him in The Postman, in Waterworld?
No.
No.
But yeah, I think this is probably one of, if not his best film ever, JFK. And
I'd argue with you on that one, yeah.
It's such a big documentary type film. It is long. It puts people off, but it is such a good film.
I do like a court procedural as well, mate. A court film. I love a court film.
I think that's almost at least an hour or something at the end of the movie.
Like All the President's Men and massive stuff like that. And oh God,
and it does actually feature the famous footage, the Zack Ruder reel, which is quite devastating to see.
Yeah. Was it Lee Harvey Oswald or was it not? Who knows?
I think the evidence from what in that movie, which I still believe, to be fair, I agree with what was presented. I think it's impossible for him to have taken that shot the way it's.
He made a shot presented. like Revolver Ocelot in Metal Gear, didn't he? Ricocheted off every fucking building in vicinity.
Or Wanted,
Or Wanted, he bent bullet around. How did he do it?
I've got Ip Man down here as well.
Ip Man or Hitman, did you say?
Ip.
I'm glad you said Hitman and not Hitman.
Not Hitman.
I just want to let you know that Agent 47 isn't real.
Ip Man is a Hong Kong biographical martial arts film.
Fantastic.
Based on the life of Ip Man, the grandmaster of the martial art Wing Chun. And for those who don't know, he was the teacher of Bruce Lee.
Yeah. Oh, it's such a good
It
film.
stars Donnie Yen. There's been lots of sequels, which, believe it or not, I haven't seen. I've only seen it.
I've only seen the first one. Yeah, I've only seen the first one.
So,
It's still same. It's still Donnie Yu, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah, it's still him, isn't it? Oh.
and Scott Adkins, who I referred to earlier, he fights Ip Man in Ip Man 3, I think it is, as well. He's in there.
Isn't he in Rogue One as well?
Yes, he is. He plays the blind guy.
Really good in. He's really good in that. Oh, Rogue One's really good. Fucking good Star Wars films.
Quite possibly one of my favourite films of all time is Black Hawk Down.
Really good.
The war film directed when he was good, Ridley Scott. And it's based on a non-fiction book about the Black Hawk helicopter that went down in enemy territory. Just a really good war film, but the suspense, it shows both sides of the conflict.
That bit when
really
you see eagle-eye view and all the fucking crowding around, like,
Yeah.
oh my God, it's frightening as fuck.
And the ensemble cast.
Down.
The ensemble cast is fantastic. The cinematography in that movie is incredible, and the sound as well. If you, everybody had those surround sound systems, with speakers everywhere around the room and stuff, and you have this blaring out, and the cinematography on a big screen, it's incredible. Fantastic sound.
I haven't seen that since I first watched it again. I might go back to that as well.
And I have two final picks: The Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah.
But
Very dramatised, but based on real events.
it's just an incredible movie. I like the movie. I didn't know much about the story at all. And like you
Jordan
say,
Belfort in real life is a fucking lunatic.
Oh,
He's a
yeah.
I don't
lunatic.
know how much is true.
He's
of
all
what
over
was
TikTok,
presented
mate.
in
He's
the
got his own
film,
TikTok account, and he is insane. That man is, and he's been sober for like 20 years. He is still insane.
He's mad as a box of frogs.
He's a fucking
DiCaprio's-
nutter. That cocaine's done him in.
DiCaprio's performance in that movie is just incredible,
It's
and how he
brilliant.
didn't, like we
It's
said before,
brilliant.
how he didn't get the Oscar for that, I don't know. And
I don't know.
still
either.
has one of my favourite recollection scenes ever. I think that joke is fantastic.
Yeah.
Which
So,
bit?
so
Sorry.
good. When he parked his car.
Oh, when he's had the lemon quaalude.
That film just has so many memorable scenes in it, though, doesn't it? It's like scene
Yeah.
after scene. It's like one of the few films, like Anchorman as well. Like every single film, every single scene is just incredible. Wolf of Wall Street.
And
as
let's
well.
not forget the breakout performance of Margot Robbie when she opens those
Well, of course.
doors.
Yeah.
Dramatic entrance.
And you can see everything. Incredible. And she's great in that anyway, as the Duchess of Bay Ridge. Oh, God. The
Well, I
book
know
is nowhere near as good as the film. I read the book way before I saw the film.
Yeah, I heard it was a good
film's-
read as well, though, wasn't it?
It's a good read, but the film's so much more cartoonish and daft and fun, and Jonah Hill's incredible in it. With his big
The
white
thing is, when you
teeth.
watch The Wolf of Wall Street, it's a long film as well, isn't it? It's like
It's 3 hours.
pushing 3 hours or something, but it flies by when you watch that movie. I didn't think it was. Didn't feel like it was that
so
long.
fucking good. It's such a good film. It's
But I know the topic is about films, but I just wanted to give another shout out for both Band of Brothers and Chernobyl, just as
yeah.
two-
They're like
great-
films, aren't they? They're just films split up.
yeah. But they're just incredible. If you haven't seen them, I just watched Chernobyl this year and thought it was fantastic. But Band of
It's
Brothers
really
will be
good.
one of my all-time TV series based on the real events that happened during the war and reflection
some-
from the soldiers in the show as well. The interviews with them.
They used
we
they
played-
used a lot of journals for that show as well.
Yeah.
So like real fucking horror shit. That
Fantastic.
Band of Brothers were great. Cool. Candy.
So I've got a threefer this evening, and we're taking a trip down Spooky Lane because I can.
Before you start, Corpse Bride isn't based on real life.
Oh fuck! Well, back to the drawing board then. No, so my first. In 1917, I've got actual notes for this one. This has been a while since I've noted. In 1979, a film called The Amityville Horror was released.
Shit, son.
Oh shit, I'm going down there. The Amityville Haunting, on which the film was based, is sort of the folktale based around the true crimes of Ronald DeFeo Jr. So on November the 13th, 1974, DeFeo shot and killed 6 members of his family in the real town of Amityville in Long Island. He was convicted of second-degree murder in 1975. In December of that same year, George and Kathy Lutz and their 3 children moved into the DeFeo house. And after 28 days, the family fled the house, claiming to have been terrorized by paranormal activity whilst living there. And so we famously got the Amityville film based on it, that very iconic looking house and everything. And it's been remade a couple of times as well. Several sequels, obviously, that didn't have anything to do. Ryan Reynolds, yeah, breakout role.
His top off. It's good, the remake with Ryan Reynolds in.
I don't really remember it. I know I watched it.
I like it. I
quite like his serious Reynolds. He does serious quite well.
He doesn't start serious. He starts quippy.
Yeah.
Then he gets serious when he starts getting
murdery. Yeah.
It's good.
Second up, Alfred Hitchcock famously directed horror classic The Birds in 1963 after learning that in 1961, birds in the coastal town of Capitola in California really had started tormenting the local residents. And these birds were poisoned by toxic algae. So the flocks of normally placid seabirds began crashing into the homes and cars and vomiting up half-digested food. And it actually took scientists 2 decades to figure out what had actually caused the birds to suddenly turn.
There was two reasons, wasn't there? There was the algae, which made the brains go mental, and there was something to do with their habitat getting destroyed as well. So that's why they went and ate the algae, which is not normally. And they were a bloke got pierced in the neck.
Yeah, they were like rabies. Yeah,
the effects in that movie have probably dated a bit, but as an
shadows, weren't it? He made shadows.
As an actual build-up, and that it's actually quite a creepy.
He used blackbirds and crows, didn't he, in the film, because it looks better on film. But I think there were seagulls and Shitehawks and stuff.
It was seabirds.
And
seagulls are fucking gigantic as well.
Yeah.
I'm constantly tormented by seagulls living.
I know they had an issue where I watched the true documentary about it. I'll try and find you it because it was on Netflix years ago, and it's what inspired Hitchcock and stuff. They got into a nursery. Inside, and they were attacking kids and stuff, proper
in the film it's a school gets attacked.
Yeah, that's right.
And they were fucking killing kids.
Mm-hmm.
Killing kids. These fucking birds. What do you do if a rabid fucking seagull comes at you? You can't duck and cover.
No, especially if they're coming inside as well.
Oh yeah, they were just zombies. They were just zombie birds.
That's when you need chips, Candy.
Yeah, loads of chips. Chips would have saved the day.
Well, one of the few good reasons to have a chip. Throw it at a seagull. Come off.
And a pizza crust would work.
Yeah, but the thing is, then they invite their mates, don't they? If you ever throw chips or anything at a seagull, 50 more seagulls. I don't think they were communicating.
The brains were fucked. They were not. This was not an organised massacre.
Not a Last of Us style. Hive mind.
These were just insane big old birds. It's frightening when you think about that. It's happened recently, apparently, in Australia. Do you know the film Black Sheep?
Yeah,
that was based on true events where some sheep got into some mushrooms, some psychedelic mushrooms, and went fucking fucked people up.
I forgot about that film until this moment. I need to watch that again. That's so good.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. It's crazy when animals eat mushrooms and algae that they're not supposed to eat. It's always man's fault because we've destroyed their habitat. This is what happens. Nature gets us back.
Mm-hmm. And finally, in 1949, a number of newspapers reported an alleged possession of a boy known as Ronald Doe, a.k.a. Robbie. Robbie began to express interest in a Ouija board to his spiritualist aunt, who allowed him to experiment with the Ouija board. It was after the death of his aunt that the family began experiencing paranormal activity in the house. This included vibrations, unexplained noises, flying objects and levitation, while Robbie experienced violence, a guttural voice, and a revulsion to sacred items. Historically, a case called the Loudon Possessions of 1634 involved a group of nuns who claimed possession after having illicit dreams about an attractive priest. In a desperate attempt to clear his name, the priest involved offered to exorcise these nuns himself. During the exorcism, the nuns convulsed, blasphemed, and made sexual motions towards the priest, as was depicted in the 1973 film The Exorcist. The Exorcist film was based on the novel by William Blatty, who took these two cases to create the story we now know. Although the film evoked a negative reaction from religious groups, Blatty claimed that the true aim of his novel was to scare a generation into going back to church.
It said on the poster based on true events.
Yep.
It's always a good sign for your religion where you have to scare people into going.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, get ready. Get ready for mine.
I want to see that new one with Russell Crowe as well. I've got some weird...
Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot. That's out now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes, and the Vatican have told us not to go and watch it.
Well, that's a good enough reason to go then, isn't it? Yeah, I read The Exorcist when I was about 13, I think.
Isn't it a chunky book as well?
It's reasonably chunky, yeah. Absolutely fucking shat myself.
Have you seen the sequels to The Exorcist? When they're in like Iraq and they're digging up the Pazuzu statue and people are getting possessed. Because that's what the demon's called. It's not the devil, it's Pazuzu.
That's right. Yeah, that devil in particular is one that haunts Ouija boards, supposedly. If you're into that kind of thing.
It's a naughty devil.
Naughty devil, yeah.
It's a naughty bugger.
But yeah, when a true classic and of the horror genre, The Exorcist, and probably one that had people running from the theatres at the time. I've probably seen The Exorcist about 40 times because I used to use it when I used to start seeing young lasses, especially goth girls, and go, "Have you seen The Exorcist?" "No, come and watch it at my house." And you know what I mean. I'm putting a scare film on, like, yeah. You got to comfort them.
You'd have got into it, you know what I mean?
I'd have fallen for that one, yeah, absolutely.
You would have done.
Can you just say when I started seeing lasses, not started seeing young lasses? That makes you sound really fucking noncy.
I was a young boy at the time.
You got your fucking child catcher van outside.
Dog catcher van.
Girl, have you seen The Exorcist?
I was also a little boy at the time, if that helps.
The power of oodles compels you.
I wasn't my age now doing it then. I'm not a Time Lord.
Just need to clarify that.
I think people can assume I'm not on any register, I promise. Because they've never caught me. Joking. Right, speaking of nonsense, I'm going straight to the Vatican.
That's not starting a sentence.
I'm going straight to the Vatican. Right, this film, it's a recent film, and that's my favourite religious film that's not about religion. The Two Popes, directed by Fernando Marielles. Fernando Marielles' biographical drama takes viewers behind the walls of the Vatican, telling the story of how Pope Benedict and Pope Francis had to come together to create a new vision for the modern Catholic Church. Now, it's not as verbose and serious as that little blurb makes out. This is quite a funny film.
Yeah, it's also quite gentle as well.
It's gentle, yeah. So it is based on real events that took place. So John Paul II died. Guess what? He died in our world as well. And then the Spanish radical lefty Cardinal Jorge Mario Bergoglio, a.k.a. our current Pope Francis, and the conservative German Cardinal Joseph Ratzinger, a.k.a. Pope Benedict XVI, the last Pope. Now, disclaimer, I am not a Catholic by any stretch of the imagination, nor am I a Christian. But this film is so fascinating because it's not about being Catholic at all. It's not about, even though there are two popes in it, it's not about being a pope. It's about being a man, and a man that's been given something that they've not particularly chosen. I mean, like, Pope Benedict Ratzinger in real life, he did kind of publicly say he did want to be Pope, and he was voted in, and he relished it. He was very conservative, didn't like the gays, didn't like contraceptive. You know what I mean? Is it 2003, I think, when he was, I can't remember.
No, it was later than that.
Yeah, well, when it happened anyway, and he was there till about 2013, something like, I can't remember. But he ultimately retired, which first time that's happened in 600 years. A pope retired because he's supposed to die as a pope, and he retired. And the reason he'd not retired prior is because he thought, if I retire, oh God, Jorge Bergoglio is going to become pope. They're going to vote him in because he was the second candidate. He nearly got voted in, and he didn't want that. So what does he do? He invites him to speak to him and spend a weekend with him and get to know him. And they are the complete polar opposites. So Pope Francis, Jorge we'll call him, he was Argentinian, and he grew up when the Argentinian troubles were happening, fascist regimes, Marxism, all that happening, and he was a bit of a outcast in his clergy. He was a Jesuit as well, which is like their part of Catholicism that believe in God being lovable, because most Catholics fear God. They're scared the fuck of him. But he was more of like a bit of a spiritual, more forgiving. But he didn't help with the troubles. He hid because he knew he was going to die, and because of that, they kind of didn't like him. So he had to build himself back up as a man of the people. Very religious in Buenos Aires at the time, and he rose to cardinal and stuff like that. And he didn't do it because he wanted the power. He was always a humble man that just believed in God.
Yeah.
Now Joseph Ratzinger. Oh, big old German Joseph Ratzinger.
Oh, he wanted to be Pope.
He fucking wanted it, like they used to back in the Renaissance. He wanted to be Pope. Like when he was announced, he was on the fucking balcony going, "Yes, fucking Pope!" Absolutely having a whale of a time, and he was soup.
As much as a 70-year-old could do.
Yeah, they're all old as fuck. Now he's
young
played,
Pope.
He's played fantastically by Sir Anthony Hopkins, like
it's a great
phenomenally. And
both of them are really good.
Yeah, Jonathan Pryce is so good.
It's also weird because Jonathan Pryce filmed that straight after playing the High Septum.
Yeah, which is the opposite of what his character kind of is.
But it's all those quiet scenes of them having a conversation with each other. God. It's like one of those. It's those films you love, Oodles. It's a talky film where not much happens.
Nothing happens really, does
it? The talky sections are so well done,
and it's got some beautiful flashbacks to their early life and the troubles in Argentina that barely get spoken about, because people think of Argentina, they think of cheap games, Nazis, and the war that we had against them. People forget that,
and one of our royalty losing the ability to sweat.
Yeah. But they had massive troubles over there. They had massive political strife and stuff. So many priests from different faiths were just shot dead. For being priests because they had too much influence, and they were speaking out against political powers and stuff like that. And I keep saying it's not my Pope, but the current Pope now, Pope Francis, lived through that and came out the other side, and he is now Pope. And it's just it's just a fantastic humanization of two men, like in an establishment at the height of power. One of them genuinely loving it, and one of them doesn't want it, but the other one wants him to do it now, because they become best friends, don't they? Which happened in real life.
Yeah.
He loves him. They love each other. They think they're fantastic. And there's some just loads of beautiful scenes where they both confess on each other, don't they? And Ratzinger starts saying, "Yeah, I know about all them priests with the horrible stuff where they did to children, and I did nothing about it." And this is well documented. And he gets what do they call it? Absolution? Is that what they call it? I don't know what the fucking Christians call it.
You get forgiven.
Forgiven. That's the word. but obviously he didn't do anything. But ignorance is just as bad, isn't it? Sometimes ignoring the problems nowhere near as good. And other way around as well. Pope Francis gets forgiven for not doing anything in Argentina when people needed him, etc., etc. And there's just also some proper beautiful human moments where they're stuck in St. Paul's Cathedral because there's loads of tours happening, and they can't get out of the closet, can they? They've got to stay in closet and wait while the tour's gone. So they order pizza, and because they're in Italy, you're gonna, aren't you? I mean, if you're in Italy, they order pizza and start talking about life. And obviously, I don't want to spoil the film, but yeah, Pope Francis becomes Pope, and they watch football. They watch World Cup together, don't they?
They do, which is a really weird scene.
They have a beer and watch World Cup, and it's when Germany versus Argentina in 2004 World Cup, and Germany beat Argentina, and Pope Benedict doesn't really like football, but he loves it because Germany's won, and it's just such a real moment between two people like that. you wouldn't expect. And this is all like documented. This happened. The film does it in different orders.
Yeah,
like I've looked into it. They didn't actually meet until Pope Francis became Pope. Blah blah blah. But the events still happened, and it's a proper religious film that's not about religion in a really good way. And
what's the Vatican's take on the movie? Was it?
They can't deny it because it's because nowadays everything's quite transparent. That's how the shit with the Opus Dei turned up, where people realise there's a secret military police in the Vatican and stuff like that. But it's not like the Patriot Act in America, where all government files eventually get released to public. But it's documented to where they ain't got a choice. People just know because we live in a technological age where popes have got phones now. Do you know what I mean?
Also, it was a particularly unusual thing because you don't tend to have two popes living at the same time.
Exactly.
It's a job till the death, you know.
Yeah, because Pope Benedict, when he retired, he became emeritus, Papa Emeritus. He became the everlong, and he was still His Holiness, but he wasn't in power.
Yeah, he's only like the second ever pope or something to resign.
Second.
Something like that.
Second. It was 600 years in between. So he retired to like a country, still wearing his Pope stuff, but not Pope.
You're never going to give back the Pope hat, are you?
No, you're going to keep Pope hat.
If they find his
and Pope pajamas.
Yep.
And Pope Francis to this day apparently is still a man of the people. I'm not a religious guy, but I believe his intentions are pure, and he's obsessed with looking after poor. He's one of the only Pope. I think he's the first ever South American Pope or any Western that far off Pope from the Americas ever. Probably the last as well.
No idea. I did find it funny when like the Americans were kicking off about the COVID vaccine. God will protect me, and then you've got the Pope going, no, take the fucking vaccines, mate.
Apparently, he's quite.
God gave us doctors who made vaccines. Yeah. Take the fucking vaccine.
It's quite a progressive Pope. Like, he's obsessed with football, and he's always eating pizza. And he's never been, because when you get Pope,
imagine you get really good pizza in the Vatican.
Of course you do.
I've eaten pizza in Rome outside Vatican. It's delicious.
Yeah. Famously, when a Pope comes out to the balcony, he's got all his regalia on and stuff like that, and he's waving to people. Pope Francis just came out in his gown and went, let's have a prayer for the last Pope. And he had a prayer for his friend, you know what I mean? The retired Pope. And he never wears all the gold chains and stuff. He's not a Renaissance Pope. He's like just a guy.
Probably got his Crocs on underneath.
No, that's the funny thing. In that film, he wouldn't wear the Pope shoes, would he? He wouldn't do it.
I know, yeah.
And he had Adidas Sambas on one bit, and I'm like, yes! That's the boy! Because he's a football fan.
They've got the bodies of the previous popes there, haven't they, at the Vatican as well?
Yeah. But I think Pope Benedict did die, didn't he? In like 2015 or something like that. I think Ratzinger died. But it's just a fascinating tale about two men in unbelievable, because you can't choose to be Pope. You get voted in once you're a cardinal. And
he died on New Year's Eve last year.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, there you go. But it's just a mad film that's real, and it's about religion, but it's not about religion at all. I think it's fascinating, and as a man I know nothing really about Catholicism at all, and it's just fascinating how they both believed in the same deity, but they both had completely different opinions on that deity as well. It's fascinating. Like, one of them's like, why can't a man love another man? And one of them's like, why would a man love another man? That kind of thing. It's just fascinating. But then through that...
Two very important questions from different sides of the spectrum there.
Exactly. And they just become pals. It's a lovely little relationship. I'm like, oh, it's quite cute. They're just old blokes, because neither of them can walk fast. It's fascinating. And again, two actors in their absolute fucking prime. It's fantastic. Jonathan Pryce and Anthony Hopkins in this, they're fucking sensational. If you've not watched it, it's on Netflix. It's a Netflix film. Yeah. And I think it's the most awards for a Netflix film, I believe.
Yeah. It's also really impressive that they managed to find two actors who were so good who kind of looked like both those popes.
They do look like them. And there's a lot of non-English, but the thing you got to remember is one's German, one speaks Spanish, so they do actually communicate in English. And there's a line that in Latin, and there's a line that I love. And it's like he goes, "Do you like it in the Vatican?" Then he's like, "Oh, it's so exhausting speaking English all the time. It's doing my head in." It just don't want to do it, but that's part of the job, isn't it? I just think it's a lovely film. It's modern and it's a great take on it, and it's warts and all really, because they do get into that sticky stuff that happened in the early 90s, late 90s that they tried to hide under carpet. And it's fascinating. The Vatican probably don't like it, but then again, it's out there. I recommend you should watch it. And again, it's a comedy, but not a funny. It's not a funny film. It's a comedy because I don't know. It's hard to explain, isn't it, Gadget?
It's charmingly funny the way they talk to each other. It's not a comedy. Yeah.
Yeah. It's real. It happens. But yeah, Two Popes. It's on Netflix. Get it watched. Gadget.
So I was going to talk about The Wolf of Wall Street, but a certain man in the north of France fucked me on that one. Thanks for that, Biggie. So I've had to very rapidly find another one, which is why I wasn't paying attention through most of that. It's
a good job I like that film so I can talk about it, isn't it?
Yeah. But I want to talk about, the quick shout out to The Big Short, which is a really good financial crime film.
Really good. Good.
And a fantastic cast with like Christian Bale, Brad Pitt, Steve Carell, Ryan Gosling. They made Brad Pitt not
good looking.
Yeah, all playing against type, which really worked for me. Very good.
Steve Carell's really good in it as well.
Oh yeah, he's very good when he's not doing comedy. Actually, he's a very good dramatic actor. Like Foxcatcher was great.
Oh, Foxcatcher, get that watched.
But no, I want to talk about The Imitation Game.
Alan Turing, is that one?
Yep, that's Alan Turing's one. So this is a film that was really overshadowed by the other big biopic of that year, which was The Theory of Everything, which I thought was a load of fucking bollocks.
I hated it. I actively didn't like that film. I'm not an Eddie Redmayne fan.
I didn't mind Eddie Redmayne. I just thought it was just fucking schmaltzy. Like Stephen Hawking was so much more than what that film gave him credit for. But I thought out of the two big Oscar bait films that were biopics of historical characters from the middle of the century, I thought The Imitation Game was the better film. So this is Benedict Cumberbatch playing, Alan Turing, going over the time he had at Bletchley Park, cracking the Enigma device.
Yeah. Fascinating.
Well, yeah, fascinating process. So, for those who aren't up on their World War II history, the Germans had the Enigma device, so all of their transmissions were coded. And quite early on in the war, the Allies captured one. Not the Americans, as U-571 implied. No, it was us. To do with it. But quite early on, it was captured one. But there were so many permutations as to the cryptography of this device.
That's why they were winning, though. The Axis power were winning because everything was encrypted.
Yeah. If there was no way for us to decode the messages fast enough to intercept them. Like,
yes,
would receive messages and then decrypt them like 6 days later. Yeah. So it kind of doesn't help.
When the Luftwaffe are on your head.
Yeah, it kind of doesn't help when it's like troop deployment things for a specific battle.
Yeah.
So The Imitation Game is all about Alan Turing and his team at Bletchley Park basically creating the first computer to work this out.
It's like an analog computer, isn't it?
No, it's not like it. It is it. That's what it was. It was
a clockwork computer.
Yeah. It was cogs and gears. The thing was fucking massive. It took over like half of Bletchley Park just to run the damn thing.
Wasn't it like historically dead warm as well in room?
Roasting hot.
Yeah.
We had that much electricity running through there and that many kind of diodes and valves and tubes and all that kind of thing. Yeah, it would have been horrendously hot in that room.
Isn't it mad when you think about it and you look at your phone and it's way more powerful than Bletchley Park?
By orders of magnitude.
Imagine telling Alan Turing about a gigaflop or a teraflop or whatever.
A teraflop,
like,
yeah.
A what? A what?
I mean, our phones are more powerful than the computers that sent NASA to the moon.
A Casio digital watch is more powerful than those computers.
Yeah. And upgradable hard drives.
I mean, that was a thing that Turing had. He could upgrade the storage. It just wasn't enough.
That's how old that technology is, Gadget, Biggie. He fucking had it back then in the 40s.
So the machine was called Bomb.
Yeah,
Bomba. I can't remember whether it was Bomba.
Bomba.
It was an electromechanical device used to decipher the Enigma machines. It were absolutely massive.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely massive. And yeah, so the film details kind of his development of this, working through the initial maths, putting the team together. And it also goes into a little bit of his personal life and the fact that he was gay and he had to hide it.
It was illegal.
And it was very, very illegal.
Yeah.
And he kind of has this close friendship with Keira Knightley's character, who's Joan Clark, who
She loved him, didn't she?
he's kind of she knew, and she was effectively his beard, for lack of a better term. She was kept close to him, but there was no romantic feelings because he was into guys. And ultimately, what I quite like, they had the computer program basically there to decrypt them. But because of the way the Enigma machine worked, they needed the cipher to work it out. But they're going to do it quickly. And do you know how they worked it out?
And then was one of the a mistake? It was by accident.
It was by accident, but basically, they kind of realized the pattern that every Nazi order ended with Heil Hitler.
Yes, that was it. Yeah, because they're hubris again.
Yes, yeah. So it was the kind of Nazi formality hubris. So once they cracked that, then they could use the Heil Hitler at the end to then work out the cryptography of the rest of it. And quick as you like, they were working them out. And it's
guess what? We won.
It's quite heartbreaking when they first work it out, because they get a message where one of the main one of the kind of the side characters' brother is on a ship that's going to be attacked.
Yes.
They can't tell anybody because they can't let the Nazis know that
they know
work this out, because they would use something else instead.
And it was like a low stakes attack in the grand scheme of things, wasn't it? So they had to sacrifice them.
Yeah. And it's a really well done film. It's not 100% historically accurate. There's quite a few things dramatized or turned around or twisted around. But Alan Turing is a really interesting person and was a really interesting character. And he was fucked over by the establishment because after the war, it came out that he was gay and he was prosecuted and chemically castrated and he died.
Yeah, they chemically castrated him, yeah.
Because he was gay and that was illegal and it was an awful time to be a gay person.
They couldn't lock him up because he helped save the war, but they had to take his gonads off.
Basically, yeah. Like they couldn't have the optics to put him in prison.
Did he die from complications from that? Is that what actually killed him?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
That.
God, that's horrific.
Oh, it's awful. It's absolutely awful.
Yeah, the real story's fucking disgusting. And then they had to still to this day, his descendants are getting compensation by government.
Yeah,
that's what they did to him. And he's not got many descendants because he was gay.
Mm.
So he's close family and stuff like that. It's just it's disgusting.
Oh,
one of the most important people ever.
He took his own life. He was 41 years old.
Oh, did he kill himself?
And he took cyanide.
Oh, God.
Wow. Yeah. Literally, without him, we'd all be singing Deutschland, Deutschland über alles. You know what I mean? We'd all be singing that right now. Not that that's a problem nowadays, but it's fascinating.
It was an important film, even though it's not 100% accurate, to basically show, to remind the world of a great man who, without him, we wouldn't have computers, or we wouldn't have had them in the format that we get them. The war would have probably dragged on a lot longer, no matter which way it ended up going by the end. And he contributed so much to society and was ultimately destroyed by his own government for it.
Martyred,
and
wasn't he?
It wasn't
martyred.
He was martyred, but yeah, it was basically he died in 1950 something, 1952.
Fucking hell, that's not fucking that far off.
Yeah, 1954. He died in 1954, and it wasn't until the last 10 years that he was actually honoured by his face is on a banknote now.
Yes,
the new £50 note.
Yeah, and again, I remember people complaining that it was a gay man on a banknote.
Yeah.
And then people remember that we've had some people on those banknotes that probably were gay anyway.
In fact, it wasn't the last 10 years, it was 2021 that he was put on the new £50 note.
The Queen was gay?
No, definitely not her.
So, yeah, it's really sad that it's taken 60, 70 years for him to be kind of honoured openly so when he did so much for
When he should have been knighted, he should have been lauded above all.
Yeah, they apologised and all that, like you're saying, honoured him, but it was just too late. Isn't it?
He was given an OBE.
Yeah, OBE. Yeah.
But yeah, he should have been given a knighthood. He should have been given everything for the work that he put in and the sacrifices that he put in to help with the war effort. And this is not me getting kind of jingoistic about World War II, or anything like that.
He saved lives, mate.
He did save lives, and he created technology that stands to this day.
Exactly.
So
one of the most important Britons of all time.
Yeah, and yeah, it's a really sad story, but it's a really good film, and Benedict Cumberbatch plays him so well.
I think that's his best role.
It's definitely up there.
That's really fascinating. I didn't know anything. I mean, I knew about his role in the war, but nothing sort of after that. I'm shocked.
He was a really interesting man.
I remember about 10 years ago they put a statue up of him somewhere and it got defaced by people. The graffitied it with slurs and stuff. Still 10 years ago,
like this paragraph on his
disgusting.
This paragraph on his Wikipedia is ridiculous. Turing was prosecuted in 1952 for homosexual acts. He accepted hormone treatment, a procedure commonly referred to as chemical castration, as an alternative to prison. Turing died on the 7th of June 1954, 16 days before his 42nd birthday from cyanide poisoning, which was determined to be a suicide. Following a public campaign in 2009, British Prime Minister Gordon Brown made an official public apology on behalf of the British government for the appalling way Turing was treated. Queen Elizabeth II.
Too little, too late.
Queen Elizabeth II granted a posthumous pardon in 2013.
Mad, isn't it?
We forgive you.
Mad.
The term Alan Turing law is now used informally to refer to a 2017 law in the United Kingdom that retroactively pardoned men cautioned or convicted under historical legislation that outlawed homosexual acts. Like, that's fucking ridiculous. The man was fucked over in the most horrible way and treated like a criminal, and it's so sad.
It's when you make the ultimate sacrifice for society, but society doesn't make it back. You know what I mean? They don't recompensate what you've put for them.
It's basically
because they don't like it.
Yeah, and people say, why do we need pride in everything? It's that.
That's why we need it.
That's why we need it. These things are happening in living memory.
Yep.
It's unbelievable.
It's disgusting, isn't it? It's disgusting. And
so,
in grand scheme of things, this is modern times. I know it's 1940s, but it's modern times.
Yeah.
It's like 70 years ago.
Yeah, this is people's granddads were alive. Do you know what I mean? It's fucking mental when you think about it. But yeah, it's a great film.
I would really recommend if people haven't seen it, just see The Imitation Game. They say it's a real tour de force from Benedict Cumberbatch. Yeah. It's also got Keira Knightley, Matthew Goode, Rory Kinnear, Charles Dance, and Mark Strong in it.
Yeah.
Who directed it?
It was directed by Morten Tildum. He's a Norwegian director who did Headhunters.
Oh, Headhunters is good.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah. Interestingly enough, I was also reading on the Wikipedia, the score for the film was done by Alexandre Desplat, who it was nominated for an Oscar, which he ended up losing to himself for his score for the Grand Budapest Hotel.
Which is that's a great score. Let's be fair. That's a fucking great score.
His odds are up there if he's got two films in that for one year. But The Imitation Game. Very good film.
It's an important film, I think.
Yeah.
Excellent. Do we have any feedback?
We do. Last week's guest, Rob Jones. The other week's guest, Rob Jones, has put in, for anyone who gets that wanderlust just to pack up and disappear into the wild places, Into the Wild.
Yeah.
Which I think
Alexander Supertramp.
I think is that Reese Witherspoon one.
No, Into the Wild. It's Emil Hirsch.
Oh, yes, that one. Sorry, no, I'm thinking of Wild.
He dies in Alaska.
Yeah.
Mr. Supertramp, that was his name.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Well, he gave himself that name, and then he was a billionaire's son or something like that, and he thought, fuck it, I'm going into the wild. It's a great film. Great book.
Super Natty Cat has said, in a rather unhinged way, Cocaine Bear. Did you know that the real-life Cocaine Bear is stuffed and on display in a mall in Kentucky and you can get married by it?
I did
and
not
it died
know that.
instantly. I think it died instantly when it ingested all that cocaine.
Yeah, it didn't go on a 90-minute killing spree.
Not like the birds.
Hunting down teens.
I've still not seen that film, and I'm a bit reluctant.
It's supposed to be shite. Stig thought it was shite.
Yeah,
Looking forward to Ketamine Koala.
Ketamine Koala's supposed to be good.
That's what they call oodles on a bank holiday.
Used to do, mate. Fucking hell. Stuck in them K-holes.
Laurie Luna has said, for me, the personal favourite is The Dig, based on the real events of the discovery of the large Anglo-Saxon burial at Sutton Hoo. I particularly like the addendum, which highlights the fact that Basil Brown wasn't credited for the find until many decades later, as the British Museum left his name off the exhibit, despite him being the one to find the site and start the preliminary excavations of it. The film isn't a completely accurate telling, but it's a stunning film nevertheless.
It is, I agree. It's fantastic. Get that watched.
Lee Davies has said, tough one this, lots to choose from. I'll go ahead and say Dunkirk.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking accurate.
But it's pretty close between that, Schindler's List, and Goodfellas.
They're all good. They're all good, and they're all... I mean, Schindler's List is very important. You should all watch that.
Yeah.
But once. It's a film you only need to see once.
Yeah, I keep saying it's not a casual Sunday afternoon film with the family, is it?
No, but it's very, very, very important. Schindler's List is on par with like Imitation Game, where it's an important time in history that needs to be addressed massively. Trust me. If you've not seen Schindler's List, don't even just think, oh, I'm going to watch a nice Spielberg epic. It's past that. It's beyond that. It's Hollywood didn't want him to do it, but he did it. And you need to watch it.
Yeah.
And Dunkirk again. Dunkirk's fascinating.
I think it's
Goodfellas.
Dunkirk for me is like one of Chris Nolan's weaker films, but it's still very good.
Yeah. It's just there's not much dialogue in that film.
No,
it doesn't need to be. I think Tom Hardy's in it. He doesn't speak once, does he?
Is Tom Hardy even in it?
Yeah, he's a pilot, one of the Luftwaffe pilots.
Didn't know that.
And he doesn't speak once. I think that's Tom Hardy. I'm probably wrong, but he does. He likes a bit of Tom Hardy, doesn't he?
He does like a bit of Tom Hardy. Moving on, Nimrod Hicks has said, "Dear Mexican entrants, I would like to draw your attention to a great little movie called McFarland USA. This is not the sort of movie to blow your mind or change your life, but it is a great recommendation for a Sunday afternoon watch. Once you're done with Schindler's List." Kevin Costner plays teacher Jim White, who moves his young family to a poor US town in California and takes up a job coaching at the local school.
I think I've seen this.
The movie describes his family's struggles to fit into the culture of the town and their eventual acceptance as he coaches a group of young Mexican lads to attempt to win the state championships.
Yes, I have seen it.
This movie is a classic no-frills, nuts and bolts telling of a great tale, and if the end scene of the real-life reveal of what happened to the participants doesn't warm your heart, then you're dead inside.
I think I've seen this years ago.
I feel like I've seen it.
Yeah. I think I definitely have. Yeah. Oh, if not, I'm going to watch it again.
And last up, we have Best Boy Angry Kurt. Said, I think many racing fans would say that Senna is one of the best films based on real events.
Fantastic film.
But after having watched it, I would say that would probably only be interesting if you're a fan, and that even then a fan of old racing at the time. However, both the films Rush and Ford vs. Ferrari are great films that anyone can enjoy. They may be based on real events, but it's told in a way that a good boxing film is told. For example, I have no interest in boxing, but I love a good boxing film. This brings me on to the... Sorry, yeah?
He does like Rocky.
It's not based on real things.
This brings me on to another sports film in Foxcatcher. It features amazing performances from everyone involved, even if the material is quite a difficult watch. And finally, I don't know how accurate they are, but I really enjoyed the Steve Jobs film, the good one with Michael Fassbender, which went through 3 of the Apple product launches, and also The Social Network, which is another great film from David Fincher. Social Network was really good.
Good soundtrack.
Yeah.
Yeah, isn't it thingy, Trent Reznor?
Mm-hmm. And
he knows how to make a soundtrack, doesn't he?
Yeah, is it him and Atticus?
Atticus.
Yeah, so it's basically just 9 Inch Nails.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's wrong about Senna, though. I don't watch racing, but I think that film's phenomenal. And I think the other racing films he's mentioned are good. Ford vs. Ferrari is fantastic.
Yeah, I like Ford vs. Ferrari.
Senna's fucking incredible. Love that. Excellent. Is that everyone?
Yeah, that's everyone.
Thanks for your feedback, guys. Thanks for your feedback. So before I get on to the rest, we need to have a little bit of a discussion for the future of this podcast, don't we?
Oh, I'm not getting fired, am I?
No.
No, this is the last ever episode of... No, it's not. So we've been chatting amongst ourselves, and we're a bit. What we're going to do. So first things first. Gadget's set up a lovely little. What's the word? Survey for you all to fill in, if you please. If you're listening to this, just help us out with this survey. We need this survey. But we're also trialing a new format in a way. Nothing major changing. You're still going to get the same, and especially patrons, you're not really going to get affected by this at all. But we're changing how we do our monthly format. So how I'll explain it, and again, it's not permanent unless it sticks. And if it works, it works. 1 week we're going to do a full episode on the Nexus. The week after, we're going to do a full episode on a topic. The week after that, a full episode on the Nexus, and rinse and repeat. The reason we're doing this is because these podcasts are getting too long.
They really are. I'm tired. I'm really tired. I need time off.
A 3-hour podcast is not viable anymore. Not in this day and age. No one's stuck in the house anymore. We need to adapt. We need to change. So we're going to trial this for a while. If you don't like it, let us know. If you do like it, again, you're still going to get the news every week from Biggie's Breaking News, but we're going to have Nexus weeks, and then we're going to have topic weeks. It gives you guys more time to send us feedback as well on a topic. You're going to get more advanced notice on what we will be discussing. It's going to be a bit more interactive that way. I personally think it's going to work. It's Modern Escapism 3.0. We've changed quite a few times. And this is, for now, we're going to try it. We're going to trial it out. If you don't like it, let us know. But again, please help us with that survey because it makes us create a better product for you.
Yeah, it's only 7 or 8 questions as well, and no personal details, super quick. Just asking your feedback on what we're doing and what you think we could do better or what you like.
Yeah, so this new format's probably going to start next month. Again, we're still going to have as monthly themes, but it's going to be 2 features a month, 2 Nexus a month, depending if it's 5-week month, you'll get more. You know how time works. I don't. You guys do. It's still going to be the same content.
Our podcast, let us know.
No, I'm not doing it. I'm just not doing it anymore. We can't do this. It's not fair. It's not fair. But yes, that's the future of this show for the foreseeable. Let us know, as listeners, dear listeners, if you like what we're going to be doing. And if you do start listening to it, let us know straight away. Next week, it is our Patrons' Choice episode. Again, if you're patrons, and if Stig decides to do it on time this time, you'll be able to vote on what you want us to do. Again, it's the last week of non-fiction, so we've put loads of things in a hat. You guys vote on it. But if you want to let us know how we're doing, again, all our details are in the show notes. You can find us at modernescapism.co.uk for all our other extracurricular activities. And if you're not a patron, this is the end of the line for you. It's time to be cowgunned. For the patrons, we will see you in the green room in a second. Bye!
Bye!
Bye.
I think we'll get away with that.
Yeah.
I think people.
There's your Easter egg.
No, I know. Fuck off. I didn't think of that.